What, this?
No.
You?
Hello?
Yeah.
Are you on?
Hello?
Oh, it's because of the can. There we go. It's still, yeah, move the can away.
It's on.
It's literally freaking out because of the can. Okay, so we are indeed live. So,
I know the theme song by heart. It's so creepy.
okay, with that creepy fact in mind, welcome to an episode of Fluffed Up that's taken way too long to make.
Hello.
We are live at AquatiFur in a jacuzzi because we're tired, we gotta do this, and I brought friends.
Why is the window open?
Is it?
Yes.
Oh no.
Because it's a hot tub.
Yeah.
Well, we're stuck here now. So,
Yay.
just an update. In Wisconsin on, what day is this? October...
This is the 13th. No, 14th.
October
14th.
October
It's
14th.
now officially the 14th because it's now Monday.
It is currently under 32 degrees Fahrenheit. It is freezing. It snowed the last 2 days during this convention.
Okay. So
My nipples are hard.
So
So how about before we even begin, let's introduce people who are new to this.
yeah.
So go ahead and each introduce yourselves.
I am Bryn the Fawn. I don't know what you want to know about me. Like
Just
just,
go where you're from around here, and
I am from kind of the northeast part of Wisconsin, and I am a fursuiter. I do light art, and I am starting to get into fursuit dance.
And how long have you been in our planning chat for having you on the show?
I've been in your planning chat for an aggressive amount of time, like an unnecessary amount of
since
time.
we started toying with the
It was-
idea of never doing it.
It was first squared.
I just use
It
the
was-
chat now to get in touch with both of you if I need to. That's literally
I
it.
just have so many chats that I use as just shortcuts to find other people.
Where am I in this chat?
Yeah, come on.
Anyway, that's me. Call
To
me
be
Bryn.
honest- Sorry, it's been 6 months since we pretty much done a Fluffed Up episode. Leave us alone.
We've had some troubles, okay?
Because
Okay, go ahead. How about you, Mr. Ambient Angry Voice?
Hi guys, I'm Techno Aurora. Most places Techno Aurora plus an underscore on Twitter and TikTok.
Now that you plugged yourself before the end of the podcast, who are you?
I like DJing. I've done quite a bit of practice the last couple months. I did a dance-off competition here for the first time ever. Went off pretty well at AquatiFur.
2019, not the asterisk one, the actual one. And how about you, our third and way too many people for our podcast, but we're doing it anyways, member?
We're doing it live.
Yeah, let's do it. So I'm Houdini. I live in the La Crosse area. If you do diving, you probably see me. On that, if you throw me a fursuit, I will make it absolutely adorable. So.
Yeah, your CAT scan in the last room party we were at. We're trying to find a stud to put something up, and you just like, here, let me CAT scan it.
That's probably meant.
It was
a highlight of the
so
con.
great. Anyway,
I'm really
Before we get into to absolutely fawning over this convention and talking about it for the entire podcast,
here, try this.
okay, he's handing me a thing called Doc X.
He doesn't know what Doc X is.
What is Doc?
I
Blasphema.
will explain it in a second.
Is it
It'll
like
know you-
alcoholic?
No. I got it from the vending machine downstairs.
This is
Really
wolf
alcoholic.
attack. He doesn't drink apparently.
This is so much better than Dr. Pepper.
See, I actually like it's
Is
a
it?
variation.
I drank a lot of that. I'm actually really sorry.
So,
it was actually really good.
That's fine. Doc X is the Pepsi equivalent of Dr. Pepper. Fun facts with Waffle Attack.
There's always one.
Dr. Pepper and 7-Up is a separate company, but they're independent, so you can have like Coke distributing, Pepsi distributing, but you can also have Dr. Pepper or 7-Up added individually.
Yeah, Dr. Pepper actually worked in the building I used to work in.
So
Separately.
so that's why like, but some places they can't do that. Like it's called pouring rights. It's stupid. But so Pepsi's like, here, you have Doc X. And Coca-Cola is just like, well, we're not Dr. Pepper, so we don't even try. So, only reason.
Pibb. Yeah, I'm used to Mr. Pibb.
True. True.
Until
Pibb
they
Extra
make-
is this.
It's Mr.
Yes.
Pibb, right?
Yeah, because I love
Yeah, it
Pibb.
is.
Well,
It's
it was
name.
originally Mr. Pibb, and now it's Pibb Extra, and everyone's confused.
Listen, I don't know about you, but when you say you're drinking a little bit of Mr. Pibb,
Mr. Pip.
Hey, Mr. Pibb, how you
Mr. Pibb,
doing?
can I have a supple?
Until they make any of that in a cherry flavor, I don't want it.
I think that is kind of cherry flavor.
Challenge accepted.
Okay, so while we're on the topic of cherry flavored things, I want to list off one of our cast has made for us. Not from here, but if you know our group, you'll know Amicus. If
Oh,
not,
no.
he's a perky young lad who makes drinks in the weirdest ways possible. And here's his latest invention: Coke, rum, apple juice. It tastes like cherry Coke. It is scary how close it tastes to cherry Coke.
Flat cherry
Flat
Coke.
cherry Coke.
Okay.
Is it just like regular apple juice, or is it that like?
I don't know where he got the apple juice from. We don't have apple juice in there.
Is it
Oh.
that Chinese apple juice from downstairs?
He had little mixer bottles.
Okay.
Yeah. He had lemon juice, cherry juice. Weirdly
Grenadine.
enough, I love Amicus for being like the most well-prepared alcoholic in the world.
He always goes on about how he's a college alcoholic, but he brings mixers and stuff in such a professional
I
way.
know.
You
Like, not
And then
gonna,
there's Techno, who discovers a drink and then decides to add an energy drink to it and gets the best buzz ever off of it.
If anyone thinks that sounds familiar, that's what Four Loko was before they wanted people to stop dying from it.
No, have you ever seen the meme where it's just like, you gotta grow up and add a 5-hour energy to a 4 Loco, make a 9 Loco.
Yeah.
And then it just says on the bottom, like, why don't you just grow up and do cocaine like everybody else?
I mean, at that point, alcohol and like caffeine is essentially cocaine, just with instead of going, yeah, let's party all night, you go, yeah, let's invest in some high interest loans.
Invest in some Bitcoin.
I was gonna say the Bitcoin bot was
I'm rich off of Bitcoin.
Oh shit, Bitcoin dropped. I'm broke.
That's my favorite part of the Wisconsin
Well,
trip,
there goes
has been the
there
Bitcoin
goes
ride.
again Techno taking our one bad word.
Oh, I missed it. Darn.
He
But
always
then
said
again,
that-
it got stolen from us by a
Okay.
brand newbie at
So-
your panel.
There was somebody sitting at that panel that literally was at the previous panel, and they saw me sit down, and then they just sat down and stayed.
Well, creeper.
Well, yeah, they were on your panel the entire time.
So what, the one guy?
Yeah, at
That
the very end.
I don't know who that is.
Like, no, exactly, because he was in the panel that I was at,
I don't
and
exactly
he just
know
sat
who
down.
he was.
He just sat down. No, yeah.
I assume that I invited him.
Nope.
At that,
He
okay,
invited-
so we're talking about my panel at this con, which is one of the last panels of the night, so we'll probably be referencing things that don't make sense until later. I run a panel called Who Gave Chewy a Mic? This year it's called We Gave Chewy a Mic. This year they forgot to make it 18+.
Okay. So, I got the clarification from literally operations and HR. Somehow, some way, the 18+ button was not checked on the form, and they were being kind of strict about that. Now, I was checking for 18+ badges, but they're like, no, you can't. So literally, I was like, fine. Like, I know you guys will get creative. We'll fix it next year.
Pistachio.
That's,
Rocky Road.
Fire truck.
honestly, oh my god.
Wow.
So
We still had some fun with it. I created a new game where I'll pull up a bunch of images and people have to make a story based on it. And I think my favorite was how AquatiFur was formed, where I looked up cursed fish images and pulled the worst things I could find and I wanted to make Wolfletech read it, which I might have you do for a video since you weren't there.
Oh no.
And then you wanted to make Addie read it.
But Addie wasn't there. So we did the next best thing and took your second in command, Amicus, and made him read it. And he did a solid job.
And then there was an SUV and a stairwell somehow.
I found that and I was like, well, that feels like something that Treble would do.
Oh shucks, now we're ruining it.
Oh no!
Audio.
I'm sorry.
Which
You told us not to be in the water for a reason.
I'd like to remind you,
We're doing this in a jacuzzi because it's been a long week.
And I have a fat ass. There goes the second one. Darn it, I'll put the mature rating on this now.
Oh, just bleep everything. We can bleep it all.
Oh yeah, I
I'll say
can
you
do
put,
that.
Stop it.
just put, I was saying, you're putting 2 bleeps
That's
in
a lot
post.
of noise being produced.
I just realized
His
the faucet can come.
His existence is noise produced.
Okay, so we're just gonna have to scrub all of Techno.
We're just gonna erase him from this.
If you keep hearing beeping, it's probably
Okay.
Techno.
So now let's fill you in if you are unaware of this con, because we'll be talking about
Techno was trying to kill us.
AquatiFur for most of this, because hey, it's all about AquatiFur because that's all we can think about because we're dying.
We're at it.
So anyway, I just want to touch something before we go any farther.
Not that.
You're a horrible person. But thank you for the tank. Anyway,
Air tank.
how
not
are you
actual
trying
tank.
to kill us again, Techno?
What?
Bang and Gummy Bear.
He made a lot of Gummy Bear, bottled it, and then found out that Bang energy drinks, like,
And one particularly called Rainbow Unicorn.
work really good.
It mixes it so that that little kickback you taste of alcohol disappears and replaces it with a caffeine high.
Which is like horrible because it's.
That is the premise of Four Loko,
Yes.
except it tastes good, which is the opposite of Four Loko.
But like, I was thinking about it. I'm just like, you're getting dehydrated. You're full of freaking caffeine. You're like on a sugar rush. It tastes good,
You're most likely
and
forgot
it's
to
also
eat.
green, so I'm interested in it.
It's neon.
No,
green.
because then I discovered that 4 Cheez-Its work really well with Flamin' Hot Cheetos.
Okay,
That's actually really good.
I'm countering that. I didn't taste the difference, but I'm also sensitive to heat. So
It was a wonderful weekend
So,
of combos.
AquatiFur is a con hosted at the Chula Vista in the Wisconsin Dells. If you've never been to the Wisconsin Dells, it's in the middle of nowhere, but it's literally like 20 hotels full of water parks and a couple of places that are just water parks.
we're in the largest room they have, except for the villas. We're not counting the villas.
We are in a suite with the side room attached, so that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 beds, 2 pull-out
7
couches,
beds. Oh, okay, yeah.
and 1 king bed,
No,
4 TVs.
there's
4 TVs, a fireplace,
2
in some of them a
fireplaces.
stripper pole.
It's removable.
It's removable, but there still was one. And if I can find the footage, I might have Wolfentex splice this into the YouTube
I'm not
bit.
going. No.
Yeah!
I'm not going
We'll put this in the description then.
to. Okay, make it.
just plaster in images of the title card. But this con is this is its 3rd year running, and if you've ever heard of the Kalahari incident, well, the Chula Vista is so much nicer.
We got kicked
They
out.
love us.
Okay.
The incident?
So I actually want to talk about real quick something I saw while we were closing. I know we're starting at the back of the con, but
Are you
so
talking about the signs?
no,
Okay.
did you see all the cops at
Oh,
the
God.
buffet? So I want to talk about it because while I was moving stuff, I got to hear all the juicy bits coming out of this super Karen's mouth.
Super Karen?
This was more than a Karen.
Did she have like the big haircut and like.
She had blonde hair,
Yeah.
down past her ears, a child, an entire posse of people that I presume are her relatives.
Did she have like was it a soccer bomb van?
Yes.
Just driving into the car.
So, what happened was, we were all moving stuff and taking stuff apart. We get to, like, this point, and we see 2 cops coming. I'm like, oh boy, the cops are here to make sure we're doing okay. And then they, like, circle around this lady, and then I see a manager, and I go, oh boy. So, the basic rundown of it is this lady brought food for her kid to eat to a restaurant. And she was arguing with them that that should be okay because she's a club member and a valued customer. And that the kid wouldn't eat there anyways.
Wait, she was a club member? Oh, I
It sounds like something on r/entitled parents.
Dude, I was literally thinking that the entire time. I'm like, am I in a Reddit post right now? If I was actually staying around and I could get the actual story, I would actually write one up. But because I was getting tidbits as I went by, so the next time I went around, I heard, but you're but it's not like I'm losing you guys money. You guys are wasting my time. And then I hear the manager go, you're wasting our time by not buying our food.
I caught that.
You caught that bit
Yeah.
too. We were both walking by.
Yeah.
I think the only exception that you would make is if your kid had like the most specific allergy in the world, and like
No,
it's something
when
that
they're bottle feeding.
truth. Okay.
That's the only acceptable time. If your kid has allergies that bad, do
They
not
could-
take them to a restaurant.
Fair if they're breastfeeding.
Because listen,
Well,
Yeah.
my kid didn't want pizza
So, like,
from you guys. He
after-
wanted it from everybody else.
After this entire situation got resolved.
oh no, there's one more bit that I heard.
Okay, do that and then
So-
I'll start mine.
One of the officers, if you've ever had to deal with cops where they give you a card that is their personal info and a reference number for this incident, so that they can catch up with you. So he hands her and she's like, I want your name and card information on this, and he just looks at her and goes, I just gave you that. And just walks off stone cold, and I was like, damn, this cop's got balls.
There's just some fireworks going off
Dude,
behind him. Like
That's what was going on in my
explosions.
mind. I just heard the NCIS, yeah, as he walked off. And as we're pushing stuff away, she's in the side area where the two automatic doors open, just absolutely complaining as we're going by.
Good.
And it's like this super serious situation, and here I am, pretty much sphinxing while moving stuff out. And if you don't know what sphinxing is, it's the opposite of poodling.
Oh yeah.
It's I just don't have my head and paws on.
We once again both loaded the truck in while we're
Pretty
in
much
our
full
seats.
suit.
I
Um,
think sphinxing
but-
would be no suit, just humaning.
No, because sphinxing it's the body of a lion and the head of a human.
Yeah.
So it's the body of a fursuit,
Oh, I was thinking
but
like,
no head.
I was
So-
thinking like sphinx cats.
No, not the
So
sphinx
anyway,
cat.
there's one other thing with the situation. And so I come walking in now. Keep in mind, we're walking through the main entrance. Both of us wearing fursuits still, and loading in and out. But the thing is the irate parent was in the registration line, all like fuming, getting waiting, fuming even more as she's waiting. She has her posse that's waiting back there, being like, "What's going on?" She yells at them, being like, "Get back in the car!" I'm just like, whoa, seriously.
Your reaction is not equal to what's going on.
So now that we got the horror story bit out of the way, let's talk about all the fun things we actually did at the con. So, Friday, the rabbits escaped, so I had to drive home. So I drove for 4 hours to go rescue rabbits on Friday. But when we got back, we did get to do Mystery Science Theater.
Oh yeah.
So Mystery Science Theater is a wonderful thing where you get to play a game where you watch a horrible movie, which in our game was heavy metal. Now, while in this game, the charity donations come in, they give you a certain amount of money, and when a scenario happens, you drink. Now, Techno, in his drunken stupor, before even getting here drunk off his mind, decided to give us probably the most dangerous, one he could give us. And
Okay.
what was that?
Well, this was on the whole 4 loco combination. First of all, no, bang loco.
Oh god.
That's a completely different podcast.
It should be replaced.
Diabetes.
Anyway.
Chocolate milk.
I don't even remember what my first suggestion was, but anyway, I forgot what I was actually grabbing out of my wallet and somehow ended up grabbing a 20.
And now, mind you, he's laying on his back, and I ask him, would you like to make a donation and give us a challenge? And I see just a hand come up with a 20 slam down in front of me and go, doors open.
Because it was the first thing that I saw happen
So
on
the rule
screen.
was every time a door opened, take a drink. And let me tell you, many doors open.
Oh, okay. So
It was well worth it.
your first mistake was making me judge. Why? In the last 3 months, I've seen this movie twice.
He watched it more than once. This movie's not good, mind you. This is a very
It's a
bad
series
movie.
of 5 stories made by 5 different artists for one combination. All about this freaking green orb of whatever.
Of slimy goop death.
No, I watched that.
On a laser disc, mind you.
It was
It had
a
to
If
be-
you don't know what that is, look it up.
So,
Don't know what it is.
It's like a
your
vinyl,
wildest
so halfway
podcast
through the movie we had to
PG-13.
flip it over.
And you guys didn't have to drink because someone paid $2 for that flip. And that's where the 172 came in.
Someone paid for the flip.
Yeah.
I did make a joke. Someone can pay for the flip, and will guaranteed get a drink out of us.
So on top of that, you want to know how I watched that movie the first time?
Drunk.
No, I don't drink.
I was hopeful. I was hopeful this is the catalyst to make you start.
What were you?
Just like how we're doing
high?
this after AquatiFur, camp out.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh no.
Predicta, Eric, Gary, and myself are still at the.
Jesus.
Dying over there.
Can you not do that?
Can you not spray on my arm, please?
If you push him farther in, he won't speak anymore.
Anyway, you're horrible. Oh god, that was in my face.
Okay, well, we quarantined both of them.
Alright, so let's go continue the story. So we got everything wrapped up. We're just trying to figure out what to do to pass the time. And I believe, yeah, Wolfsig was there too as well. I think maybe, were you there?
Yeah, I was there.
You were still there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you watched it too, didn't you? Oh god.
The bombers. Why?
So
That was a really cool section.
yes, he brought it, and we were watching it underneath the awning, just watching it, and then it started raining. It was kind of cool, but we're at the end of it, we're just like, what the frick did we just watch?
What the peanut butter colada?
And I
did you just
completely forgot about most of it. And then when they were like, yeah, we're gonna do this, I'm just like, oh, or to make the hotel happy, I have to probably screen this. So I watched it again, which I paid $3 to do it on Amazon.
That was your donation to
What?
the charity.
You gave someone money to watch that movie?
It helped me fall asleep for 3 nights in a row.
So did you watch it 3 nights in a row?
Well, it's an hour and 30 minutes long.
So you watched
So I
it
did 30 minutes because that's all I can handle.
And here we were drunk off our minds watching the whole thing.
Wasn't that the time too we had gourmet bacon?
Oh yeah, we cooked that up, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we were too distracted with that bacon.
Like it was
So-
sriracha bacon and then some salt pepper bacon thing.
So anyway,
So by the end of
22
this, we were drunk off our minds. And that ended at 1, so we passed the heck out real fast. I mean, after, of course, a room party, because our wonderful host Amicus just loves hosting room
alright,
parties.
well, Amicus hosted a party without fully asking me to do it first, but
And then we had the con chair and the con owner show up on Friday night, completely unexpected.
well,
we were not prepared
I-
mentally, physically, or emotionally for
I
them.
didn't know that, but then I also didn't expect 2 AV people to kind of have an orgy over the toaster strudels,
Excuse you?
Pop-Tarts.
I was more doing
Yeah.
that at
You
orgy,
what?
but
I must have been gone at that point. I was already over in another room having
Yeah.
a good
No.
time.
No.
No.
This
I particularly remember the person on my right face fudging another person.
It was like a professional
Oh, that-
wrestling match with their
Yeah.
mouths.
So at this point,
The entire kitchen was full of kissing people.
so that occurred. I didn't even know that. they
I
were
was like,
coming at the
okay,
time.
bedtime.
I retreated to my king room.
A lot of us went to bed.
But yeah, the con chair
I
came
was already
in,
in bed. This is
looked
news to
around,
me.
and turned right around and left.
Yeah, and then the con owner just was there for.
The con owner had a good time.
Oh yeah.
Con owner
Yeah.
always has a good time.
That's the thing is, well,
So,
so
flash forward to Saturday. Let's see, we had the first fursuit game. The first fursuit game of the sudden realization that we were supposed to actually do 3, and I talked them down to 2 because we had only planned for 1. And
that's a story for another day.
that's a story for a completely different podcast. Well, another episode of this. We would talk about it on this, but we actually need to talk about AquatiFur, not furry migration mixed with. Hey, it turned
Oh
off!
my god, it turned off.
That's because the jacuzzi's not
So, if you guys didn't actually notice it, and Wiffletech does a good job of scrubbing, the fan's been on the entire time, and we just kind of dealt with it because we have no control over it.
It's tied in with the jacuzzi controls.
You say that like we have any control over anything
So,
in our lives.
if Wiffletech is really talented at scrubbing, you're not going to notice the audio change. If not, this is going to sound great after this bit.
Oh boy.
You can hear me.
I would say it's
So-
going to sound echoey.
You know, and on top of trying to have 3 fursuit games, having one of us here having to do a whole crapload of DJing for the con, throughout the con, doing all sorts of events.
And not telling us.
I think you did a good job.
We
DJing,
did.
though.
Yeah, you did a good job. We did a good job at both of the fursuit panels. We have some new games that I think no other cons have used, and I don't know if we want to talk about it on here because of how good they are.
They're secrets.
Yeah.
They may, well,
The
put it
ending
this
of
way,
musical
they
chairs.
may show up at a few other Midwest cons.
They're
Yeah.
they're gonna. Oh yeah.
They're going to spark inspiration.
Oh goodness, we have the.
Especially the particular one this morning, or well, yesterday morning now,
Yeah.
having to do with some lighting.
So this,
Yes,
so
I
we
love
we
that.
gathered some AV. We may as well just talk about
Yeah,
it.
it's
Okay.
gonna be out there.
So-
say the laser one.
So we gathered the AV team together, and we planned this last night, but the person who is talented enough to operate it wasn't available until Sunday morning. So we waited until then, and we decided, you know what? Fursuits love chasing lights.
Especially
Cats love
Cats
chasing
especially. So we said, let's embrace their inner cats, which there were like 2 cat fursuiters. So
and me.
You had me in the back.
we used the laser lights of the con, and it was an elimination style game where you have to chase down the lights, and the last person to the light gets eliminated, and we keep going till there's one left.
So it's like
Wait,
musical
did I
chairs.
figure
but-
this
It's
out?
exactly like musical chairs except
or
chase.
what?
That's actually awesome.
You figured it out the night before.
I
or
don't
the day
know
before.
how you figured that out.
And then our wonderful con chair also came up with an idea that is more honestly related to Who's Line than anything. If you ever remember if you've ever played Who's Line,
Family Portrait.
yeah, it's called Family Portrait. We modified that for fursuit games.
That actually worked very well.
It did. I was actually quite surprised with how well that worked and created great photo opportunities for the fursuit groups. Which honestly, during fursuit games, it's hard to get good pictures of your character. So we kind of did give them a really good chance to get some cute photos as a group.
Yeah. And you also had some guests
Had
help try figuring out things with that,
but yeah, fursuit games was a huge success. Next up, we had Jackbox. My favorite one for that one was we did the monster dating game, and we didn't realize until the end that the audience could see what we were sexting to each other.
Wait,
So-
they could see that?
We were saying some raunchy things, and they could read it. And literally, like, there were times where we'd say something and then they'd snicker, and we wouldn't think anything of it because we thought, because they have their own audience member, that they were writing something. No, they could read what we were saying to each other.
and that made it so great.
My favorite was I messaged, I think, SemJ. I have like 20 subs on Twitch, and she's like, "Oh baby, it's on."
And I was playing Jackbox in a different room just with some friends from out of state, and we just had a room code for one of our games that was just YGOD. Why God? God has abandoned us. I feel it was very appropriate.
And then immediately after that was Who's Line, which it's Who's Line. If you've ever been to Who's Line, you know how great it is. Except this time, they let me help host.
Oh no! Oh God! I was.
You
was-
did such a good job that I stayed the entire time.
I mean, Wolfeltech, the man who never stays at a panel during AquatiFur because he has to run around.
Hey, that's what
stay
happens when you have
the
director
entire
events.
panel. So, I'm honestly hoping that I can get hired onto the crew of that game now. Because I love doing stuff like that. It's dumb and hilarious and so much fun.
But yeah, like
You had the dance comp on Saturday. You DJ'd that, right?
Dance comp on Saturday and the charity dance off on Friday, which was a scaled down version of Floor Wars designed for a smaller con.
which worked really, really well.
I think yeah.
Which I was supposed to be a part in, but then the rabbit incident happened.
Yeah, no, we all had to go 3 times.
But well, let us take a quick second to break, and if we do have sponsors, we'll put one here.
Fill me up, Jacuzzi, because I want to go. and do this podcast, and the water's cold. So please don't hurt me, baby, because I need more water. Please stop. Okay, I guess we're doing it again.
And thank you for our sponsors. If there were none, then Wiffletech was our sponsor today. He gave me $3.
We have sponsors?
We get paid for this?
Wait,
Well, I have, because this only records for 30 minutes and I have to fix that, I have to make a joke sponsor break. If we actually do have a sponsor, though, thanks, Bad Dragon.
Bad Dragon, when there's no
If you don't
light
know what
work.
that is, go look it up.
No, don't.
If you don't know what that is, this isn't the right podcast for you.
How did you get here?
This sponsor break is sponsored by Namecheap Technical Support. Namecheap Technical Support. Thanks for help me get fluffed.us back online.
Okay, I just had a stroke listening to you, so I want you to explain what happened. Well, actually, first, before we
He's having
explain,
a stroke
before we
laughing
explain
about
that,
this.
Gummy Bear.
would you like to explain about the charity dance-off?
Yeah, so with the charity dance-off, it was 6 total people, and we had to do 3 rounds of each of us dancing against at least somebody different. But the problem here is that primarily at this con, there's not a lot of like established, like expert dancers that you'd see at like MFF or Anthrocon, things like that. So there were 5 of us novices, but then as I'm let me back up. As I'm getting into the room to warm up, there's only one other suitor there, and I'm like, oh, cool, I get to like meet somebody, I get to check out the competition, whatever. He's just stretching on the floor. All of a sudden, you turn on music techno, and he whips out some b-boy moves, like legit breakdancing b-boy moves. And I'm just standing there like that reaction gif where he just kind of looks around like from the video game where it's just what?
See, what I'm picturing is that Elmo from the New York Square, the like traumatized Elmo in the background.
Yes, that's even better because it's just like, oh,
These
God.
are very specific images that if you've been on Reddit long enough, that'll pop into your head
When you
immediately.
said
like-
Elmo, the first thing that popped into my mind was the one that's flossing now.
You know, when I was finding those cursed images for the one thing for who gave Chewy a mic, someone did send me one of Elmo like limp on a bed.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I sent you that.
Elmo is a very cursed image.
Very cursed.
But go ahead and continue.
No, I nearly like.
Sorry.
Audio!
God, why did you do that?
Jacuzzi!
No, but
It's my computer auto fixes.
nearly like filled my britches because I'm like, well, I immediately know who's gonna win the dance off, and then literally as soon I'm like, oh, I really hope I don't get paired with him. This is not gonna be good. All of a sudden, the very first thing is my suit versus him. I'm like, ah, damn it! No.
I did not plan this. Random.org was a wonderful tool.
Wonderful, my
That's how I
left.
did the charity.
Wonderful, my left butt cheek. No,
Is it better than your right?
it's significantly better than my right. At least right now that I'm sitting on the edge of a tub and it hurts
Right.
so bad. Oh my god.
Sorry.
That's like, you didn't build the tub.
Again, apologies for how weird the audio is probably going to sound on this, but we're doing our best.
Brett.
They do it.
Do it live!
Do it live!
Go on, Mom, get out, do it live!
No, but like, oh my god. He blew everybody out of the water. I was like, oh my god, dude. Why are you... Like, I think the only reason you're here is like to make so much... He made so much money. But then
Oh, yeah.
he made like... How much did he end up making ish?
I got the number somewhere.
Like just like a ballpark.
The total for the competition was nearly $290 raised between all 3 rounds.
I feel like
with-
he made
It was
100.
248.
Easy.
No, that was with the fill-in dancers that we had, which made the night. We had Glitch, Kostya, and Addie fill in for one of our dancers that unfortunately couldn't make it because of the unfortunate timing of when it got placed. But it all turned out well in the end. I made a few mistakes as far as the music, but most people didn't realize that they were actually mistakes. They thought they were just
If you
there.
did make a mistake, I didn't. Wait, made a mistake
You mean
at the dance comp or at the charity dance comp?
Both.
Oh, I didn't notice it at the charity dance comp, but then again, I was
But
also
then,
like,
then again, with that, I can blend it in a little more.
See, the charity dance-off, with it being brand new, yeah, it had glitches, including me spontaneously being popped on stage to start counting money, and math is hard.
well, and it didn't help that there was one person on stage going, pennies, give me pennies!
I
And
would-
like, there's so much change.
She broke her voice at the actual dance
Yeah,
competition.
she actually lost her voice.
They're on testosterone. That's
Oh,
why
he-
they're like cracking the voice because they're just
No, they
casually.
yelled at the top of their lungs.
Yeah, they,
Oh yeah, I mean,
they literally broke their voice.
And
Oh.
that bucket of change got around very well during the weekend.
Oh, yeah.
It got shaken at people many of times
they
by
just
myself
kept
and
throwing
others.
in
I realized that at the end of at closing ceremonies when I was given the change bin,
I was
Yeah,
given
and
because-
I went hear ye, and I'm just going up to people up against their heads going. He's like, I already gave you pennies, and I'm like, give me more.
So, that's the thing, is, like, when Brian would take, like, the cash from the thing, he would only take the cash.
Yeah.
So they take
Left
out
all
the
the
cash
pennies
and they
in it.
leave the change.
And I was just like, oh, boy.
because no one wanted to count that much
But
change.
anyway, well, a lot of it came actually from charity dance off, and I was counting it. I was counting all the pennies. I was counting all that. But I'm counting as quickly as I can on the stage, and then from across the room, I just hear.
Oh yeah,
Son
I
of a-
heard that too.
And then there was one time I was just like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, that's like 15 pennies. Like I quickly did the scene. I was just like close enough.
The charity, we're sorry we sticked you. Waffle Tech
Well,
can't
no,
count.
I did do it right because I counted it again later. I'm just like, I'm not sorry with
You
the
know what we
pennies.
should invest in? One of those little coin counters.
Actually, some conventions have it for that purpose, just for charity money.
Just go to the Coinstar out back.
Dump a massive thing of coins in.
You know, there's a
Coinstar,
3D
aka
printed template that sorts everything.
Yeah, I've seen those and they're really neat.
I may be able to 3D print something.
So we had that. Let's see, what else was there to talk about? I mean, we could talk about
I
the
was 15
closing
seconds away from
from quitting.
But to be honest, one thing I love about like the events team and AV team, and speaking of AV team, real quick, I walk into main events earlier today, like right after between fursuit games and charity auction, because that's the only thing in there, and they're literally playing Destiny 2 on the projector.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
So
Yep.
I'm still higher level than that.
and the thing is well,
That's not.
that's not impressive. It's really easy to level
Well,
up.
well, with this setup right now, with how the levels work, yeah, it's difficult.
My favorite thing that
Anyway.
AV did was during the musical chairs, they randomly started playing an advertisement as one of the songs.
No, that was a section of
I
that
know that
song.
was the section of the song about a high mortgage interest rate for your rent, and we just you got
Wait.
firsters wandering around looking really confused doing musical chairs.
I'm more confused about the high mortgage interest rate on your rent.
It was on a house, not rent.
It was on a house. I was just trying to remember it.
Sorry, I'm just being a jerk.
But and then the next day, since Techno was allowed to do it, we essentially just made them walk in a circle where we played the entirety of Smash Mouth, like All Star.
Oh no!
Oh,
They just
God.
had to keep walking, and they'd like stop and try to do it, but we just kept playing it. And there was still like 8 or 9 people left, and it was very tense. And me and Techno are just dancing around to All Star.
So, like, AV was top notch. Like, has been the last.
The
Well,
crew that we
the
have
crew-
is probably one of the best in the fandom.
Yeah, the only one that like would equate would be the FM one that I'm on because I do AV up
Oh,
there.
they're
Yeah.
awesome.
Although I don't know much about the cons out west.
Midwesterns are really bored, so we get really good at audio
But
equipment.
the thing is
We're really good
like
at getting drunk.
that's what
That too.
that's what I love about like how we have our stuff set up. Like AV team is like family. Like
Events team is a very close family.
exactly.
And then we adopt each other, and then somehow I end up being part of the AV team honorarily.
Okay.
Yeah. So like
We think Techno's drinking the bathwater.
He's making a stew.
Something's going on
Yeah,
down
techno
below.
stew. Oh boy.
Now selling techno bathwater.
Uh,
No.
This one will give you syphilis.
But yeah.
Can't be any worse than
Okay.
me-flavored water in a certain Netflix series
Well, because of the room
that
that we
involves
have,
a demon, an elf, and a princess.
because of the room that we have here, we get the triple bedroom condo. We can have up to 14 people in this suite. It is freaking awesome. One of the
No privacy.
Well,
Well, having a resident DJ also helps.
that plus then also like Hikiri who could fix everything. Wolfsig that literally is he's the one who runs the main stage at FM. Like just the hilariousness that comes by all the people that are in this room.
And then
And-
there's us in the other room trying to friggin' sleep through
Yeah.
all of this.
We're a
So
bunch of
we-
good Christian youth in the other
See,
room.
and that's why I purposely got that
I'm
room
not-
because I knew it had the external door.
I
But,
appreciate
like-
you so
Okay,
much
to
for
be
that.
fair, you never actually slept in that room. You were elsewhere.
Thursday night I did, and tonight I will.
Thursday night doesn't count.
Yeah, it counts.
But Friday and Saturday I found another bed
Let's
to sleep
see.
in and cuddle.
I think. Let's see, how much time
But
are we
anyway, where I was going at with this is he was telling me a story because every single night we've been in this room, I've been in this jacuzzi, and it's been the greatest thing. Then he tells me about a story about a state fair and how like 20-some people were hospitalized with Legionnaire's disease because they put their hand in the water of the hot tub. Or just wouldn't buy it because it was so spraying. Because you get a state fair, you typically have like vendors and booths showing their product.
Oh yeah, so they'll have the
People
hot
like
tubs.
touching the water,
Oh, I'm guilty of that.
but they
have the hot
don't
tubs
treat
full
the
of water.
water.
They don't?
Hey guys,
No.
what's Legionnaire's disease?
Is
it?
This
Sorry.
is our quick.
Yeah, what is Legionnaires'
I don't-
disease?
I'm an ill-informed youth.
Daddy Wolfatech, tell us some more.
It's time for a second Wiffle Tech knows things.
Hey Wolfatech,
This is
you're the new Alexa.
Hey Alexa, what is Legionnaire's disease? I actually don't know.
Insert
Now,
plug here.
I just,
Be
I just
the
imagine
random-
a screen with the description from Wikipedia.
Don't make me do video
Description
editing,
and
please.
a photo.
Listen, we released a video that's a static image. Wiffle Tech can just stuff whatever he wants in there if he
we
wants.
have a puppy. Aww, and he's a cute puppy.
Listen,
That
he's
was
just
my
digging
favorite
himself
one.
a bigger grave.
I know. Anyway, so
Yeah, it is.
yes, it is.
Yeah, the red light.
You're too drunk to be paying attention to the recording. Stop that.
Step back.
That's my
stay there.
job.
Anyway, so it was just like
Just
I-
marinate.
I don't know what it is. Like it's one of the things I don't know. I'm probably gonna look it up now because of this podcast.
There's going to be a description
But-
on screen if Wiffle Tech's not being lazy
But-
today.
Or a link in the description to the Wikipedia page.
Just look at the links for all the weird things we
The
have.
mind of mine went into when I was showering one day. It was just like, I wonder if they call it Legionnaire's disease because of the American Legion.
Oh my god.
All those old men.
Or or some other social group, like social service group.
Is that
I don't
like
know.
how? Is that like how? What was it? Is it herpes or something?
Herpagonosyphilades?
Well, no, the one that came from llamas.
What?
There was one that wasn't around until
This is
Spanish
bad.
conquistadors came to
Okay.
South America.
Back
and
to
then they found out
AquatiFur.
that it was llamas that transmitted it.
New line,
They found out that it was the Mayans that transmitted it.
new line,
They found out that they transmitted it to themselves.
new line.
They found out that they got it from Legionnaire's disease.
Wait, did we just turn this into who's lying?
Spin it back. Legionnaire's disease came from those
So
with
I don't know
Legionnaire's
where this podcast is going.
I was gonna go to the party and that could be the ending.
So back to
Sounds
AquatiFur
trying.
real quick. Have any of you guys seen on Saturday by the photo booth area when they had the doors open just before dance comp?
No.
You would walk by and there's this giant inflatable T-Rex. Oh, I
Yes!
every random pose every time somebody else walked by.
I didn't even notice
Yeah,
that.
you can't.
It was
how
a
did you
different
not notice
pose
a giant
every
T-Rex?
time somebody walked by.
It's too bad we don't have Houdini on film because this is great watching.
I'm just moving my arms.
Maybe it's
everywhere.
because of how intoxicated I am, but
No, I've been in
Okay,
a
so we
fursuit.
went
I
into this
animate
thinking he
everything.
wasn't drunk, so
Yeah. I think the hot
So,
tub is making it
I
work
think
more.
because he's literally sweating out all the fluid it's replaced with alcohol. So
flavored water.
I'd like to end this with talking about the staff party. So Wiffle Tech,
Chewy's in a
Okay,
maid
I want
outfit.
you to explain this.
Which staff party? because
The last one.
Okay,
There were
because
3 of them.
there so happened to be one that I didn't know about in my room.
The third
our
one.
room.
The
The
one that
second
didn't
one
happen
was
in
more
our room.
control
The
in our
stripper
room.
one.
The stripper pole one.
So we got invited to a staff panel. Now the thing is like, well, staff panel. Wow.
A staff party.
Staff party.
They bought us pizza.
And it was nice. We beat our record like over the last 3 years of loadout by an hour and 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
We were done before 9, pretty much.
It was pretty impressive.
And we had more stuff too.
Yeah.
Yes, like a ton more stuff. And
Last year we had a 60
because of
footer, this year
that,
we have a
like,
90.
and because of like encouraging people to help.
Instead of everyone going off and
they-
partying and leaving a few people, we all worked together and then went to party.
They bought the Con bought pizza for the staff that was still here, and we went over and ate, and we were talking, and lo and behold, someone put up a stripper.
No, it's been up.
Yeah, it was up. It was known about.
Yeah, I know about it. See, it's one of those that you
and a certain organization owns it.
so, well, not
Stripper
really.
Poles Anonymous.
SPA.
I know the logistics of that.
the second type of SPA.
They're associated with
Oh
SPH.
no!
It may end up in a front
I
office.
almost said
though.
something that made me have to do 18 plus.
We're all ready. You may as well just say it.
No, I'm gonna.
No,
Okay.
we've been having a
So I bought a maid's dress in Japan, and I've never actually gotten to use it. So I figure, what better time than to make Chewy look adorable in a maid outfit? Then I saw the stripper pole.
Oh no.
Turns out I'm also not half bad at a stripper pole. You know, being a firefighter, I guess I know how to work a
Oh
pole.
my gosh.
Because I locked myself in real fast and started spinning real good.
Oh my god.
Spinning and grinding, grinding and spinning.
Now-
In a cute lavender-colored maid dress that
So-
accents Chewy perfectly.
It was a very cute
No.
maid outfit.
Possible
I'm not gonna
insert photo here.
Insert GIF.
I'm not making more extra work for me. You're gonna have to find these elsewhere or ask for them in person.
Insert Twitter here.
Look at you, it's Twitter.
Anyway, oh yeah, you're probably just kidding.
They're gonna
Anyway,
be retweeted everywhere.
Now, I was just like, oh, Chewy did it. Someone else did really good at it. And then I'm just like,
And then I started chanting, Waffle Tech.
No, I was thinking of it before. Only if we had a certain Kylo at the
No.
time. Do
Kylo,
it.
acted by our wonderful Houdini.
Okay, I can make things cute but not sexy.
And then I literally went up to him and told him, hey, you like being this character, right?
You want to bet?
This
Okay.
character is kind of a slut.
Yeah, he says that. Now, keep in mind, we had someone that was really good on this poll go ahead of everybody.
So we had the
Chewy
guest.
went on the poll.
So we had the
and
guest
did
of
pretty
honor.
Good, and then it leads into
No.
It
So
was
we had the
really
guest.
good.
So we had the guest of honor. It's Kai, right?
Yep.
So we had Kai do it. Kai did an amazing job at it.
No names.
No names.
Nope, stop. Bleep
Bleep
that.
it,
Alright,
bleep that.
carry on.
Okay, preferably not names.
Okay.
So we had a really good person go on, another good person on, then they tried to make me go on.
Well,
No, they tried to make me go on, but I was like, no. No. That
And then
was-
another staff member.
Yep.
And
And
then
then
me.
Chewy went
so
on.
yeah.
And I did good. I had fun.
He grinded that pole.
And then I decided to try and
Didn't you fall?
Yep, and failed miserably.
He was like, oh, I can do a spin, but he never stuck the landing, so he just spun, and then fell.
However,
Pretty gracefully though.
The issue is you wind yourself around it unless you're moving
he
your
still
legs.
did better than one other person.
Waffle attack.
I was trying. I'm just like, okay, I'm looking cute, whatever.
He wasn't really spinning. He just grabbed it
then
and started circling.
Well, the thing was because of how it was hooked up to the ceiling, I don't want to put a whole lot of
There
weight
wasn't a stud there.
on it.
Most of us were whipping ourselves
However-
around, to be fair.
However, I tried doing a spin and I just fell straight to the ground. I was like, oh, I'm done. So it was one of those things of, yeah, I know I suck at this.
So I made a lot of friends by learning how to be a stripper.
As a cute little
As a
Japanese.
cute. Okay, so quick thing about this maid's outfit: it's 100% made for a Japanese female, and I'm a 5XL.
Oh my god.
It's like me finding
You were a
motorcycle.
5XL?
I'm a 5XL and Japanese female.
You want to know what the even sad part is? Is in U.S. like motorcycle pant sizing, I'm currently a 5 or 6 XL.
I don't know.
Okay, Jared.
I'm sorry, they don't. Wow.
Okay.
Well, shoot, if I want
Oh,
to
wait,
make
this isn't
something,
being
now I'm
recorded.
probably going to be like a 10X in Japanese women's.
But like
I would be like
I
a
love
10X.
miscellaneous sizing
Yeah.
of that. But,
But
like, because Japan is Japan,
with-
it makes sense.
With this great
Welcome.
con coming to an end, and with the hot tub starting to prune all of our feet, and this podcast running way longer than we usually do,
Yeah, well, we have to make up for 6
Yeah.
months.
So,
Anyway,
we'd like to bid you guys. Oh,
before we end, I would like a 30-second excuse why we haven't done a podcast in 6 months or whatever. Months.
depression.
Go. Just keep talking.
Depression,
You have to tell us-
anxiety. My wife's brother moved in, and he calls me a nerd whenever I do things, so I get anxiety attacks and don't like making contact with him. Not like that. In a condescending way, like an atheist talks down to the Bible.
Nerd.
He knows exactly what I mean.
That escalated really quickly. I just, pardon me while I just go get a neck brace for that whiplash I just got.
So, like, I've been actually extremely self-conscious with my content. It's been really hard for me to make stuff, but they'll be moving out in November, so hopefully we'll be able to do a lot more of this stuff. Because, like, we had Addie come over during that, and even Addie was like, he doesn't, like, acknowledge that we're doing this. I'm getting a lighting rig set, and he's just sitting in the middle texting like nothing's going on as I'm shining lights on him, lighting up the position. He doesn't get hints.
What position?
Sitting, texting.
I just
What
realized
position?
I haven't been over to your.
No, I meant
Oh.
these two.
Hello.
Mao.
Yeah, you haven't been over to my house in like
I-
6 months.
I haven't been over to your house since I
Since
was
your wedding.
checking your house for the wedding.
Yeah.
Because
So
after you got back is when that all stuff.
yeah. So essentially, as soon as we got home from the wedding, he got kicked out of the house.
Wait.
He got kicked out of his parents' house.
Oh, okay. I was just
Now I want-
you kicked them out of the-
Now we're at the point where it's like, okay, it's time for you to go off on your own because I am literally going insane that I can't wear underwear in my own house and walk around. I have to put on pants. What kind of person moves into their own house away from their parents and is expected to still wear pants?
I even live with my sister and her boyfriend, and I don't even wear pants half the time in my own house.
What are pants?
Exactly. You see what hell I'm living in?
Why,
where
I
have to
live with
in a
my
pants
parents
based
and I don't
society?
wear pants.
You understand my plight then when I'm not allowed to
Hey,
wear not
It's
pants.
your place. Anyway, we're gonna lead into my 30-second excuse to why we haven't done a podcast in forever.
That was the excuse.
No, we're both doing 30
Oh.
seconds.
Oh, Wolf of
My
Texas.
excuses. So anyway, I've been trying to do a lot of extra things that check off my to-do list. I have custom plates now on my license on my car because my amateur radio. Well, I got my extra. I'm now a VE, so I can give the amateur radio test. I'm doing that, and then I've convinced my Jensen to get my motorcycle license.
Oh yeah, me and Wolfaltic are getting motorcycle licenses.
Yeah.
So we are spending weekends learning to ride motorcycles before it freezes over.
Boom, boom.
And then after it freezes over, we're gonna go skiing a lot, so
So it's funny because like the most popular video of Jensen, there's actually like the wheelie one.
The
There-
wheelie into
there's
the
a back-
car.
Oh yeah, yeah. There's a backstory to that one, whereas like you're only seeing the beginning slow mo part, but then
he crashed.
yeah.
Into a car.
No, it wasn't into a car. He drug it before it hit my car.
Okay, but with that, we are going
Yeah.
to
So
end
that's
this off
literally
for
how
today.
that's been. Website's fixed. Social media's happening. So we're gonna do these at least once a month.
We're gonna try to do it once a month, or at least twice. We're doing at least once a month, aiming for 2 a month.
Yeah, and once again, they're audio only unless we do a special on location if we're feeling up to it and not sitting in a jacuzzi.
We are literally like con crud is setting in, not in the sick way, but in, like the physical, your body's just melting way.
All right.
Post-con depression is going to be horrible
Yeah,
this time.
This post-con depression is going to be awful, so please send your love and affection towards all these fine individuals. Bryn, where can we find you?
You can find me at Bryn the Fawn, Brinn the Fawn, on literally literally everything. I think FA, Twitter,
Okay.
Telegram.
You already did at the start, so Houdini, where can they find
Literally
you?
You could throw a thing through Twitter. HAUDINI 20020.
Again, we need to talk to you about making your brand easily accessible.
You know, it's been
Yeah, Chewbacca's-cousin.
Hey, I shortened it to Chewy's cuz
I know,
everywhere.
you're finally
well,
learning.
you know, it's been with me since I was 5. Okay.
And of course, you can find me
Wait.
at Chewy's cuz on
Twitter
Twitter
was a thing
and
when you were
YouTube,
5?
No, that name.
and on my Twitch. And you can find Wiffletech at Wiffletech
Literally
everywhere.
everywhere.
That's literally his slogan. Is literally
Yeah,
everywhere.
that was a podcast thing.
Yeah, we're bringing it back.
Because, yeah, I had to do that video editing. Literally everywhere.
But thank you guys for well, I was gonna say watching, but listening. Bye.
If you were watching, you would see my boobies.
Oh, whoa.
See my boobies.
This is the outro song. Boop boop.